At today's 15th BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, discussions about creating a single currency are still receiving considerable interest internally and externally, as important figures work to refocus attention onto matters related to trade or bond issuance in local currencies. Now, Brazil's President Lula da Silva reignited discussions of a prospective BRICS currency during a livestream event. He stressed that such a currency wouldn't aim at replacing the US dollar, but rather facilitate trade amongst emerging economies. Lula stated that our aim for BRICS is to build a multilateral institution, one which transcends exclusivity. Now, additionally, Lula made clear that this bloc's intention does not threaten existing power structures such as the G7, G20, and US entities. Their primary focus should be forming a cohesive organizational structure. Now, in April, Lula publicly expressed his support for the creation of a BRICS currency by drawing comparisons between its formation and that of euro in Europe. However, certain members within BRICS are resisting efforts towards an international currency pool. On Monday, Indian Foreign Secretary Vinay Moham Quachara held an exclusive media briefing where he expressed caution over any attempts by BRICS nations to move towards creating their own common currency to challenge that of the US dollar. Quachara stressed that discussions within BRICS have predominantly focused on expanding trade via respective national currencies. He also asserted, however, that the shift from a shared currency concept significantly. Additionally, Quachara underlined the necessity of meeting all prerequisites prior to engaging in discussions of shared currency frameworks. Now, current deliberations within BRICS is focused on trade conducted using national currencies, according to Quachara. Notably, discussions surrounding an imminent BRICS currency started to flourish after a tweet by the Russian embassy in Kenya on July 3rd. While not officially sanctioned or supported by any entity within Russian Federation, this tweet provided basis for reports by state-backed broadcaster RT proclaiming the creation of a common currency supported by gold reserves that was expected to be announced at August summit. Anil Sukala, South Africa's ambassador to BRICS, expressed similar sentiment, and on July 20th he informed reporters on behalf of South Africa that an announcement about a currency may not be part of its agenda for this August summit. Sukala stated unequivocally, no conversation regarding a BRICS currency has taken place to date and remains outside our current focus. So there you have it. He confirmed the bloc's preference to trade and settle transactions using local currencies and not attack the dollar. Though BRICS members do not share an equal vision when it comes to creating a common currency, some members find merit in endorsing such an initiative. China and India have repeatedly advocated for increased use of local currencies among members states such as renminbi and the rupee, while Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has been particularly vocal about supporting such efforts. Now, Lavrov stressed the significance of developing nations being accurately aware of the stakes involved and of any shortfalls within existing global monetary and financial systems, seeking out mechanisms which ensure sustainable development without external pressure. Now, he made these comments after meeting Angolan President João Lourenço on January 25th, and during their discussion, Lavrov stressed the need to create proprietary currency mechanisms within BRICS framework. It was a pivotal institution within the BRICS framework, the New Development Bank, the NDB, created to serve as alternative to both the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank, which is currently led by former Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff, who exhibits great affinity with Lula's economic vision. Now, Leslie Masdorp, Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of NDB, provided insight into the centrality of natural currencies to their operational plan in an interview with Bloomberg on July 5th. And Masdorp challenged narratives regarding shared currencies while affirming the relevance of the US dollar in their fiscal framework. Now, Masdorp explained it's vitally important for us all to recognize that the New Development Bank relies heavy on the US dollar as its primary reference currency. with our financial structure built entirely around this asset class. Additionally, he suggested exploring any viable alternative to the dollar in terms of medium or long-term aspirations. Mazdop also explained, thinking back to 1944 when global financial architecture was established through Bretton Woods Conference, an equivalent conference would likely not result in one currency emerging as the anchor currency. Additionally, among BRICS nations, it's critical for them to collaborate to redesign a more suitable framework suited for contemporary conditions such as reconfiguration, and it's expected to increase prominence from emerging market currencies. Mazdorp also noted that while Chinese renminbi has shown steady expansion as international trade currency, achieving its status as a reserve currency remains a gradual process. Given this gradual evolution of currency recalibrations, any discussions regarding alternate currencies should focus on medium to long-term perspective. And as the summit nears, the New Development Bank remains committed to expanding trade and financing endeavors through national currencies. Mazdorp outlined their goal of intensifying focus on local currency financing, and up to 30% of lending capital should be dedicated to these instruments, such as bonds issued in a national currency or loans dispersed using similar instruments. Now, consistent with its commitment, the New Development Bank has increased its financing activities on the brink of the summit. A recent announcement revealed plans for issuing an Indian rupee denominated bond in October, following an issue of South African rand denominated bonds earlier. Vladimir Kazbekov, chief operating officer of the NDB, confirmed this trajectory by affirming their plans to enter the Indian market for rupee-based bonds around October. And unfortunately, however, no detail regarding this size was provided at the time. Kazbekov elaborated on the bank's overall strategy, noting its goal to issue local currency denominated bonds in other BRICS member countries like Brazil, Russia, and the United Arab Emirates. Thus far, 22% of New Development Bank financing endeavors use local currencies, which are most frequently seen in its use with Chinese yuan projects. Now, strategically aligning itself with the bank is actively encouraging discussions regarding financing projects in one member country using currency from another member nation. Now, Kazbekov illustrated this subtle approach using an example. Consider an African project such as South Africa. Instead of funding it with US dollars, think about financing it with Chinese yuan. Now, BRICS members countries continue to demonstrate different perspectives regarding the creation of a common currency. Instead, their focus has remained on using local currencies as means for trade, investment, and lending activities. Within this discussion arena lies New Development Bank, which plays an essential role in steering currency dynamics and financial cooperation amongst member states. Now, it seems to me, based on all this information, that they're having a difficult time to create this reserve currency or BRICS currency, and I think the dollar will still be around for some time to come. And if you like this video, you could check this video out right here.